Hello, and welcome to tutoring. In this video, we're going to talk about quantum numbers. The first quantum number is called the principal quantum number and represents the shell. The second quantum number is the angular momentum quantum number and is represented by L and is the subshell. For the third quantum number, we have the magnetic quantum number, which is m sub L, and represents the orbital. For the fourth one, we have m sub S, which is the spin quantum number. Now what we want to do is to figure out what values are acceptable for each quantum number. We'll begin with n. N can be 1 up to infinity. That means it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on until it reaches infinity. For the second one, L can be 0 up to n minus 1. So you can include 0, and you can go as high as n minus 1. Now for the third one, m sub L, we have the orbital, which can be negative L through 0 to positive L. So you include the negative form of L, 0, and then the positive form of L. And for the spin quantum number, you have positive 1/2 and you have negative 1/2. So in the first example, we will have n equal to let's see here. N can be equal to 2, okay? And then we can ask ourselves, what are the acceptable L values, okay? So from our rule, right, L is represented by 0 through n minus 1. So let's see. Okay, so that's what we get from the rules. Now, we have to match it up, right? So, n minus 1, right? We take the n value, which is 2. Okay, so 2 minus 1, right? And that would be 1. So we know that L value can only go up to 1. And we have to include 0 too. So it goes 0 to 1. Right, so the acceptable values for L are 0 and 1. Okay, now for our second example, we can find the values of m sub L. And we know from our rules that is going to be from negative L through 0 and through positive L. Okay, so let's see. What is our negative form of L and what is our positive form of L? So here I'm just writing, I just wrote the other way that you might see it, where they put a plus and minus sign together in front of L, and then a comma and 0. That means the same thing. You have to include the negative and positive form of L and include 0. Now back to our example of finding m sub L values for this example when n equals 2. So we know that we just found L, right? And L was 0 and 1. So right now when we pay attention to the negative and positive forms of L, we know that we have to look at 1. So we know that we have a negative 1, okay, the negative form of 1, and we have to go through 0, right, according to the rules. And so we write 0, and then we know we have positive L, which is just the L value we found, 1, right? We already included 0. Okay. Now for m sub s, there are only 2 values possible, and we know that from our rules. So it's going to be positive 1/2, and then we have the negative 1/2.